DJ Uzi, DJ Uzi. DJ Uzi, DJ Uzi.
Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back today with another video. If you haven't seen already by the title, I am going to give you some tips on how I increase my LSAT score 15 points from my initial LSAT score. So let's get into the video. Okay, so my first tip is consistency. And when I say consistency, I don't mean like, oh, you have to study every day. No. You need to have a plan of when you're going to study. Once you have that plan, you stick to it. It's like a non-negotiable. This is going towards your future because, you know, obviously the law field, they care a lot about the LSAT, but that's not the only factor. But consistency is important because of the fact that once you're consistent with something and you're on a routine, I feel like it'll become a habit and you'll be able to retain the information if you're doing studying on a consistent basis. Consistency is something I always say because I feel like in my past and how I've learned from the past, when I wasn't consistent, I would think that I was going to get this extra high score and it just was not happening. And it was due to me not consistently studying, me not seeing the material, and me not understanding the material that I was reviewing when I actually did the studying. So that's the only thing, consistency. 2, make sure you actually have a study plan. As I was referencing before, with consistency, if you have a study plan of what you're going to review. For me, I took the LSAT program, LSAT Demon, and I was on the premium account. I had the premium account. So what's included in the premium account, you get access to all like 90 tests. They have the drilling feature of all like the tests you're able, you have access to all like 90 tests, 90 something tests. You got the drilling, you have the practice tests. I know they do have some free classes as well, just like if you're not a premium and you're just on a basic package. I didn't have any live classes. The live classes was like the next thing up. I couldn't afford that to put aside to do that. But the premium package worked pretty fine for me just because of the fact that I had access to those tests already. If you have an account with LSAC and have all 90 tests on the LSAC website, then you probably won't need the premium. You can still get the premium because I feel like the drilling feature inside the premium, it was really helpful to consistently do questions and stuff like that. If you're a flashcard type person, then I think you can also just use the LSAC website if you're just trying to find cheaper ways on how to study, because man, stuff is expensive. Oh, and I should also include that the premium package was $156. I had a LSAC fee waiver at the time, so with the LSAC fee waiver, I think you get a percentage off each plan depending. So they have a basic, I think they got a free, a basic, a premium, and a live. I may be wrong, but I'll put like a little screenshot on the bottom of this to be like pretty sure. Anyway, yeah. So their program helped really nicely, and then also built into their program, I think with me having the premium plan, they had like a mock schedule that you can work on and how to make it. So for instance, I was studying, actually I would change it around a lot. You know, they got reading comprehension, logic games, and logical reasoning. Logic games was something that was like really difficult for me, but eventually became really fun to do. Like down the line, as I started really studying, logic games was always something that I was trying to do up front because I was just like, this is what I need in my life. But I would do logic games, like for instance on a Monday. do reading comprehension on a Tuesday, do logical reasoning on a Wednesday, and just restart the cycle. And what that looks like is I would drill possibly for an hour, and then I will also do practice sections. They say that you should understand the material before you go into doing tests, because then you're just going to be discouraged by your score because of the fact that you don't understand the material. Also, something else that Demon had was like little lessons included in it as far as how to understand the different question types and how you should approach the question types. That was like really helpful for me. And their mock study schedule was really helpful. So they had, like, for instance, Monday, you'll do the section that's probably most difficult for you. So you'll drill questions on a Monday. Tuesday, that same section you did, say for instance, if you did logic games on Monday, on Tuesday, you should drill on Tuesday. On Wednesday, you'll drill logical reasoning. On Thursday, you'll do sections. Friday, reading comprehension. Saturday, you can do sections. But the way I did it was like, I didn't start doing sections until I really understood the material at hand. I know people are thinking, like, obviously this is a time test, so you're thinking about, okay, let's go fast. But it's no reason to go fast if you don't understand what you're doing. And that was something I had to learn, like, down the way, just like, that's what I have to do. But anyway, anywho, definitely having a secure study plan and sticking to it is really helpful. My third tip. Okay, this may sound unusual, but take breaks. I do know people who study every day of the week. I tried to be one of those people, but I found myself getting burnout very quickly, which just did not work for me. Burnout is just going to make you not want to look at the material no more, and it's just like, what is this? Is this even worth it? Especially me trying to go to law school. So really take breaks. Like, set a day in your week to take breaks. Or if you just can't stand to not take a break, you should have a day where you're not studying long. You shouldn't really be studying long anyway, just because of the fact that I feel like at a point in time you don't retain the information after a certain hour. You definitely should take your time with it and really make sure you're rejuvenating yourself and doing things that you like as well, and not just making your life study. If you just make your life just full of studying, you start to resent it in a way. So you definitely need that space from your tests, and like a healthy life balance with tests, doing things that you like. Because then when you don't see your score increasing, you're just sitting there like, man, like, how much more am I going to have to take in order for this to work or to do whatever? So definitely have at least one day. I used to, at first, I was like just studying like consistently, like every day of the week. Also, I work a full-time job. I should note that. So that was like a little different for me. My schedule was 9 to 5 at that point in time. And well, it eventually got 8 to 5, a little bit past that actually. But anyway, yeah. So I was working full time. So I tried to make my minimum 2 hours after work every day. And I know that was like a lot. So sometimes I didn't make it to the full 2 hours, but I felt like just great enough because of the fact that I managed to still get up and study after work, after a long day of work. There goes that consistency that I was telling you about. You got to push yourself in some way. Always remember your why. I think that was like really helpful for me as far as what am I doing this for? And me taking breaks as well is what helped me be able to efficiently study. That's gonna go into my tip number 4. So for me, I was so gracious with LSAT Demon. They had a first generations study group. That's also something else. The plan offered, well, not the plan itself, but the program itself. They have study groups that you can join in order to meet people. And I went to this one study group for first generation students because I'm just like, let me see other people like me. It's supposed to be like a study session, and people are on different levels with the LSAT, where you probably can find somebody who can teach you as well for free. Y'all studying together so you can be better. So definitely finding a study partner or accountability partner. I know that's not the case for everybody. So, man, if you can find a study partner or accountability partner, I think it'll be really great because you feel like you have somebody in the thick of it with you, and just like you understand these struggles, you understand us trying to get this test and trying to get those scores, and that this is what we want to do with our lives. But if you can't, then that's fine. Something really quickly, if you're a first generation student like me, I can put down below some links to a GroupMe that you can meet other students who are also studying for the LSAT and may need an assistance or accountability partner. It'll be down in the comments if you're interested. You also can look at videos like this to try to find tips on how to stay motivated and to keep pushing. Or if you're not a type of person who wants to study with other people and that's just like not your niche, then that is fine as well. Just make sure, I guess, you're putting on a timer, putting your phone on do not disturb when you are studying, so that you're not distracted. Something I found myself doing sometimes is like picking up my phone, scrolling through Instagram, and just being like, oh, okay, before I know it, like, man, almost 30 minutes didn't pass. So definitely, I feel like if you can and if you thrive in that sense with having an accountability partner or a study partner, that would be really great because of the fact that you guys are here with it. That's what I loved about my study partner personally. Tip number 5. Don't study for hours just to say you studied for hours. So when I say that, I mean, okay, say for instance, you study for 4 hours. Oh, I did that. I drilled questions. I did sections for this amount of time, and this is going to make me get a higher score. No, boo-boo. You should be studying to actually understand the quality of the information you're learning. It's going to be way better if you study for an hour and actually understand what you're doing versus studying for 3 to 4 hours and not knowing the material that you're reviewing. Some people, actually, I don't know what some people do, so I'm not even about to lie. But I know sometimes you can be drilling questions and then say if you get the question wrong, and then you're just, let me go to the next question. No, you don't skip over a wrong answer question or even questions you get correct. You should be reviewing that. You need to be reviewing the material. You need to look at each answer choice and then say to yourself, okay, why is this answer correct? Why are these other answers are incorrect? And you need to do that with each question that you get incorrect or even answers that you get correct, because you don't want it to be a chance thing that I'm just getting this right because I guessed correctly. Or you're supposed to learn from your mistakes itself. And that's when you really start seeing the increase and just the motivation to keep going, because you're starting to understand exactly what you're doing. So definitely make sure that you're actually getting the material that you're learning when you are studying. That's like the most important in this whole studying game, blind reviewing. That's what they call it. They call it blind review. If you don't know what blind review is, typically there's 3 different methods. The way you can do it, the way I would do it is, like, I would look at the questions that I got incorrect and then just go over them again without looking at the correct answer, but reading the little stimulus or looking at the game again and trying to figure out, where did I mess up? What did I not understand? And continuously doing that. Really, because if you look at the test is really repetitive if you really think about it. They have main question types that they use over and over again. The only difference is the way the questions that are on the test, but they have the same question stems, like must be truths or weaken questions, strengthen questions. They have in and out games. They have in order games for reading comprehension. You know, you have a humanities passage, you have a social sciences, you have natural sciences, you have a law passage. These are things that are very repetitive, and it's just a thing of you actually understanding the game of the LSAT. And, you know, obviously a part of that is having materials, which is something I want to leave towards the end for people who do continue to watch this. Is surprised. But definitely just making sure that you're effectively studying and not just studying to say you're studying. Learn the principles of each section, of reading comprehension, of logical reasoning, of logic games. Once you get the basic understanding of that test, you should be hitting the 150s. And then from there, it's about, okay, I understand the test now. What errors am I making now that's probably making me go off a point or two that can get me to where I need to be? So definitely just make sure that you're effectively studying with some of those tips, such as like blind review. Blind review was really helpful for me in increasing my score, and it was something I didn't do in my previous studying. For a bonus tip, patience. Bet you didn't see that coming, right? Patience is definitely needed for this process. I studied for a whole 11 months. I was like, because I was at a point where I felt like I didn't want to go to law school no more, because I'm just like, this test is just not for me. And so I was like, I'm going to give myself a good year in order to see if I can really see this material or learn this material. And it was really helpful. And I did have some hard times where I just did not feel studying. I felt like a robot just because I was doing the same thing over and over again. But I will say it paid off, all my hard work and all my time, in order to get a 15-point increase on my LSAT. Your time and your path is your own path. Don't think about whoever was studying only for 3 months and got that 170 that they wanted or that 160 that they wanted. That was their journey and that was their path. And you shouldn't feel inadequate because of the fact that you know people who have gotten a score that they wanted within the first time of taking the test. That's not common. People usually have to take a lot of time in order to even increase their score, because, you know, if you're not, even if you're in school, you're working, and you have to think about how you're doing all these other things simultaneously. And I know I'm going to have another video about gap years, because I have taken gap years, but just doing it at your own pace. Whatever score you want to get, you will get. It will go forward. And it's just about, you know, you having confidence and faith in your study plan. I know sometimes you can be looking like, man, I want to start this year. Like, if I don't start this year, then I don't know when I'm gonna go. I'm trying to wait till I get to that 170, or I'm trying to wait until I get to that 165, 160. And it's just like, if you really want it and you really want to work towards it, you will get it. It's just going to be in your own time. And that's where that patience comes in. You have to have patience in yourself, because that's what's needed for this process. Law school journey application, I will have a video on that as well. This is all like a big shot, especially I'm a first generation student as well, so nobody ever in my family has gone to law school. I don't personally know any lawyers. Also, I'll have a video on networking, but just working with what you have. And that is my main tips as far as how to increase, or how I personally increase my score 15 points on the LSAT. And if you made it this far, I also have a I'm going to do a giveaway. So I am currently done studying because like the last score I got, if you haven't, I have said my score in previous videos. I guess I can say it again. But my score was a 151, and I thought back and forth if I was going to take the test or not, and I just decided not to because of the fact, just like life right now, like to put myself in that mindset, stress, all this. The schools that get it and will see me, hopefully they'll see that I'm more than just my score, and that's not the best of my academic capabilities. It's just I am experiencing life and I'm pushing forward and I'm just trying to do what I can in the moment. So I will not be taking the test again. And I have, if you stayed this long, I have my email in my bio, my YouTube bio. I will leave it down below in the comments. Well, not in the comments, but the video description. If anyone needs materials, studying materials, I have the Mike Kim book. I have also LSAT test, like a testing booklet. I'm giving it away for free, so it's going to be a first come, first serve. If you want the materials, you'll just have to pay for shipping to get to you, but I am just getting rid of all my LSAT materials, and I want to pass it down to other people who are trying to study and don't have much resources. So if that's you and you stayed this long in the video to watch me fully, then you will be the lucky winner. Just hit my email and I will send it out to you. Once again, you just have to pay for shipping, but the materials itself will be free. So I am glad that you guys stayed to watch the end of the video and to listen to my tips. I will also be documenting, just once I get my decisions, what schools I'll be going to, the whole application process for law school, personal statements. I just have so much more for you guys to see. Like, I'm just so excited. But thank you again for watching my video, and I'll be back with another video next week, and see you guys soon.
DJ Uzi.
Window bank arch your back.